And I won't go back to Kutama. I'd rather die.
Gang rape, sodomy for food, and extreme violence. We go inside one of South Africa's most dangerous prisons. Stopping a building being hijacked in Johannesburg. This is what we saw during the raid. And no surprises here. 2023 is the hottest year in human history, and it's likely to get worse. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
Sodomy, the trade-off for food in one of South Africa's privately run prisons. Some of the more than 3,000 high-risk inmates at a prison in Limpopo tell us that to get decent food, they have to buy it from prison officials. A piece of steak, chicken or lamb, chops costing between 40 and 45 rand. If not, they're subjected to pap, polony and hard-boiled eggs. And this is despite the Kutama Suntumule Correctional Centre having a budget of more than 400 rand to feed and clothe each inmate per day. A former prison warden says some inmates are forced to commit sexual acts to make money in prison to buy food.
Offenders find themselves trapped in a state of being prostitutes in order to make ends meet, in order to buy toiletries and other necessities.
After submitting a memorandum to management about conditions, inmates rioted at the prison last month and burned down 3 centres at the facility. One of them, who's since been transferred to another facility following the fire, says Kutama is like living in hell.
And I won't go back to Kutama. I'd rather die. That thing of those men in prison and all those things fighting each other, that's stampede amongst the inmates. That thing makes me, man, I've lost my mind a little bit because I've been there for quite some time. I don't want to lie.
Justice Minister Ronald Lamola says they are investigating allegations contained in that memorandum. A midday raid just prior to an area being hijacked.
We're currently on scene in Industrial West in Johannesburg, where we're at a vacant property owned by the city, right? And the city officials, as well as JMPD, you see a number of members here and officials here, including the executive mayor and the city manager, are claiming that this building has been invaded. And people were constructing on this building. Now, this building or this property itself is very important because the city had highlighted or set aside this property for to house or temporarily house the people that were affected by the Marshalltown building fire. But what business owners are telling us is that they got into an agreement with the local station commander, all right? And the station commander agreed that they could come in and basically fence off and put up brick walls to not allow people to come in and invade this property.
At the moment, we have one person who claimed that this is his property. So we found him on site. So he's one of the 20 people that has been arrested. So they will be processed now at the police station.
Okay, I know that you don't want to jeopardize the investigation, but saying things like high-profile people that are involved, can you elaborate on that? Okay,
it's businessmen, police from SAPs, a colonel who is involved. He assigned the attendance register of the minutes that discussed the taking over of this place.
City officials here this morning have brought in a TLB and broken down all the walls that these local businesses or business owners have put up. City obviously saying that this is an invaded area, it's owned by them, no one gave them the proper documentation to actually come in and do any work, and that's where things stand at the moment. For Eyewitness News, I'm Arun Singh in Johannesburg.
Political killings in the country have increased. KZN is the deadliest province with more than 17 councillors killed in the past 10 months. An inter-ministerial committee has been looking into these killings.
The Interministerial Committee tasked by President Cyril Ramaphosa back in 2018 to probe politically motivated murders in KwaZulu-Natal says since its inception, it has investigated over 320 dockets. This includes murder, attempted murder, and intimidation of councillors and other political figures. The police say they are trying to work on other cases, especially ahead of the 2024 general election. The chairperson of the committee, Police Minister Bheki Cele, says most of the cases are in court and that the NPA is working on prosecuting those linked to the killings. However, there's still a question of masterminds who actually are the ones ordering these hits. Eyewitness News.
This also happened in today's news.
We've identified at least a couple of vehicles that were used. Some of vehicles were used as getaway, some of vehicles that were used as spotters, some of the vehicles that might have been used by people after the fact that we suspect that they are suspect in this regard. We've identified at least one firearm that has been used and positively identified to have shot and killed Mr. Forbes on that eve.
Still, murky waters around the late-night docking of the Lady R. An independent panel investigating the docking of the sanctioned Russian cargo ship in South African waters has found that the vessel and those who assisted it contravened a number of provisions. The vessel turned off its transponder detection system when it pulled into the Simonstown Naval Base in December last year, because it was being tracked by foreign intelligence agencies. The panel found that the equipment it was carrying was not properly packed in containers. Instead, it was offloaded in pallets, which were then loaded into empty containers brought to the harbour on the back of trucks. The panel also said it accepted the explanation that the equipment was moved at night to minimise the security risk of it being visible in the open pallets in the daytime. The Department of Home Affairs has identified 6 land ports of entry in South Africa for the instalment of technology to help reduce illicit movement of goods and people into the country. They are Beitbridge, Lebombo, Maseru Bridge, Vicksburg, Kopfontein and Oshuk. Home Affairs Minister Aaron Matsoledi says this will be a private-public partnership initiative.
The redevelopment of the ports will result in 1, the efficient cross-border management of movement of people, goods and services. 2, the improved administration of persons entering and leaving the Republic. 3, better regional economic integration and enhanced support for the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. 4, improved revenue collection and addressing leakages caused by the illegal movement of goods and illicit financial flows. 5, protecting local industry from harmful imports and exports. And 6, effective migration management, including capping illegal migration.
Uncontrollable fires across many parts of the world this year. Now, 2023 is likely to be the hottest on record. Global temperatures during the Northern Hemisphere summer were the warmest in our history. And with El Nino on its way to us, we'll be facing a severe summer here too. It's goodbye from me, Jane Dutton. See you for more tomorrow. Remember to like and subscribe.
Eyewitness News. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.